We need to talk about something important. So I'm going to just go ahead and press this button, and now you see, we're in an Adobe PDF viewer. And it says, in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia, complaint for permanent injunction, civil penalties, and other equitable relief. That's basically, we're going to be talking about COPPA really quickly. And joined with me is our good friend, GeoJoe2000, who, am I allowed to say you're a lawyer? Well, too late, we did.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yes, that is in fact the truth.
Yeah.
And so, as a lawyer would, I'm going to clarify this entire, the next 20 minutes by saying none of this is legal advice. It is personal opinion based on my limited understanding of COPPA. Obviously, this is a FTC regulation that has been around for 19 years. There's a lot that's happened with it. This is just basically the most recent piece. I'm no expert in this, but I feel like it's worth trying to go through this so that people aren't peeing themselves over the fact that YouTube is forcing them to figure out whether their channels are, I need to find the exact language that they're using, directed to children.
You want me to go to page 10 now?
Yes, indeed.
All right. There we go.
So really, just as like the precursor here. One, are YouTube the bad guys in this situation? Yes. The FTC is literally just doing their job. YouTube is not allowed to take personal information from children under the age of 13 without parental consent. But they have, because they're greedy bastards. And they will continue to do so unless they have an incentive not to, which is what the $170 million judgment, I believe it was a settlement. Because YouTube knows I get the feeling YouTube knows they have screwed up for a very long time. Now, two, is it the content creator's responsibility to actually determine whether their channels are directed to children? Yes, it is. While YouTube should probably help people figure that out and actually provide resources besides just AI and automatic bots and whatnot, pretending like they know what they're doing.
They don't.
They don't. But COPPA applies in the same way it would if the channel owner had its own website or app. That is from the FTC website. In other words, if you are making YouTube videos and putting them onto YouTube, you are under the jurisdiction of the FTC if your channel is directed towards children. You are personally liable. You could pay up to $42,000, I believe, or maybe it's like $42,350 for each video that does not comply. Now, the thing is, 3, is the FTC going to go after YouTube channels that are very small, do not have large reaches, somewhere in the range of maybe maximum 10,000 subscribers or so?
I guess that's kind of big. That's still small though, really.
They probably won't, because they're part of the government. And guess what? The government has limited resources, and they want to go after people that have wide influence and the ability to affect a large swath of the American population. Which means they're going after Google and YouTube first. That's why they did that. It's the same reason why they went after Kim Kardashian in regards to FTC ad disclosures, which is actually something that I researched earlier. So the FTC happens to be in everything. Well, everything related to advertising, especially online advertising, which is now terrible. Thanks to Google and Facebook and people like that aren't caring about who they get information from as long as they make money. This makes it quite obvious, I would say. So, let's go through and actually figure out what channels are directed to children, because the FTC actually has a list here in their complaint. To start, Exactly. Channels that, in fact, explicitly say that they are targeted to children under the age of 13. There are big channels out there that put that in their description, that have actually communicated to YouTube and or Google directly that they are directed towards children under the age of 13. So, you know, an admission. Don't do that. Okay, that's a good start, right?
Yeah.
So we can go down because they're actually like, what? So
Ooh, there's more.
there is. Oh, there's a lot. So channels that happen to have content that is like directly engaging to children, specifically animated characters that are popular with children, toys that are popular with children, I guess child-oriented activities, which I know is broad, okay? I get it. But you can think of some of those channels, right? In fact, the FTC has found some for us. Mattel. You know, the ones that make toys.
There we go.
That regularly appear on YouTube Kids and have been featured on its home canvas. Those channels have been collecting information from children under the age of 13. The Barbie channel. That's not allowed. And, you know, Barbie is kind of a children's toy.
It's very much a children's toy.
So there are a lot of, I mean, there are channels out there where you just look at and go, well, of course it's for children. That's really what the FTC is going for, at least up front. We can keep scrolling down because there are more examples.
Here we go. We're on page 11 now. Let the feed catch up.
This one is interesting, and this one might catch a lot more people out. Cartoon Network shows that a reference or are related to cartoons that are on Cartoon Network.
Got that.
Channels that are specifically the title videos with the word kids, creating for kids playbook. That, again, the more obvious you are about this, the more likely the FTC is going to go after you. And of course, YouTube didn't care enough to not be obvious, so it wasn't a hard deal on the FTC's part. Oh, and of course, YouTube and Google just admitted it, particularly this Cartoon Network channel, that is a popular YouTube channel kids are watching. Good job. That's how you get in trouble. Hasbro, again, toys. It's in the YouTube Kids section. I guess YouTube has like a kids section of the website, like it does for YouTube TV and that kind of stuff. Guess what? Those channels are all in trouble. DreamWorks. Oh, of course. They make movies that are targeted at children. They have movies and TV shows that are rated G and Y. The About section of their webpage says, made just for kids. They use keywords in titles and tags to direct children to the channel. That's a no-go. That's a no-go.
Yep, I'm assuming you're waiting for me to scroll, which I am.
No problem.
And we're there in a minute. There it goes. Watching
This one I haven't heard of. Masha and the Bear.
What is this?
I guess it's entertaining and educating for both children and parents. Great, use the word children. You're probably in trouble. I guess people are presenting these channels to YouTube to get partnership or something, but guess what? When this channel was presented to Google and YouTube, the target audience, they said, was children's 3 to 9. Of course that's a problem. It is a kid's cartoon. Again, that is a problem.
There we go. I'm just making sure I get all the important stuff highlighted.
No problem.
And we can keep going. What's this?
Good question.
He'll get there eventually.
Ratele.
There you go.
Family-friendly content every day. Watch these crazy kids as they make every day an adventure. Videos include epic pillow fight and Annie's hair is purple? This is where we start getting into... Wait. But again, I guess YouTube also has an age classifier tool, and here we have, targeting to 8 to 10. Great. You can't have personal ads on those kinds of videos. And again, the other thing that I'm not bringing up for these, but that you'll probably see for all of the individual channels, is that you'll have this little sentence at the end that says at least one video appearing on this channel was one of the most popular videos on YouTube. You know, because that's what they're targeting.
YouTube Kids, to be exact.
Thank you. Which is even more narrow and more unlikely for the average YouTuber to actually end up in that category. But yeah, you still can't do these kinds of things. Oh, and then these channels. Toy unboxing channels. Especially the ones with literal kids unboxing the toys. They're screwed for multiple reasons. The main one being... Well, sorry. No, that isn't related to COPPA. I was just going to say parents that force their children to do stuff on video for money and their own personal profit are probably bad. But also they're violating COPPA, basically. So, double duty.
Yeah.
Oh, family-friendly videos inspired by sugary, cute toys. Who's going to be attracted to that? Somehow the videos were generally intended for viewers aged 0 to 7.
Whoa.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Cool. I never noticed this.
Good luck having an age 0 individual using a computer and watching a video, but lo and behold, YouTube thinks it's possible.
Good for them.
What else do we have? Sandaroo Kids.
I just want to say we got this again. At least one video appearing on this channel was one of the most popular on YouTube Kids during that blah that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now this Sandaroo.
Family-friendly parodies and skits for kids. Oh, amazing. We love dressing in Disney princess costumes, playing pranks, and teaching kids how to learn colors. Barbie and Ken Doll's fashion show party with doll ambulance.
Whoa, okay.
I don't know. I don't know. But once again, children's toys for kids, a no-go. Here's the main one that's come up. Evan Tube HD. This is the actual kid reviewing toys. And he first posted a video when he was 5. Exploit to parents. But
there we go.
Again, family-fun YouTube content. It's all about kid fun. Literal kid reviewing toys for kids. There you go. That falls under COPPA.
Yeah, and then there's the next one, Little Baby Bum.
Yeah, I mean, that should just not be a thing to start with, but I guess they have songs and other stuff. Best nursery rhyme videos for children on YouTube. See, it's not hard to just say, this is a channel. Well, nursery rhymes are never going to go well with adult content. That doesn't really mesh, but again, for children. A specific activity directed at children that only children do. Mother Goose Club. Same exact thing. And in fact, it has literally the same exact description, which just means they're unoriginal, or one of these channels was unoriginal, but...
They don't really give us a date on here, so...
Exactly. But they both had one video that was one of the most popular videos on YouTube Kids during a 90-day period in 2016.
Boop.
Toy Scouter. Oh, guess what this channel's about?
Toys.
I bet so. Actually, nursery rhyme videos, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But striving to entertain kids. What? Okay. Those are the ones that the FTC pointed out. I imagine just based on I'm not sure how much in-depth, like, investigation they would happen to do to put together a complaint like this when they have such obvious evidence as this, but I think we can pick out some themes here, that have come up a lot. For kids, activity related to kids, kids actually in the videos, on YouTube Kids. So, what does this mean for most YouTubers?
You want me to write that?
Sure. Well, you don't have to write this part.
For real YouTubers. I already started, might as well finish. There.
Fair enough. You're probably not going to get in trouble with COPPA. That's the long and the short of it. I'm sure the one if you're paying attention, the one thing you probably notice is that at no point in any of these channels do the words video games come up. And at no point has the FTC mentioned, as far as I can tell, that video gaming channels are directed at children under the age of 13.
I need to check something, actually. Okay, well, I mean, this guy, the EvanTube guy, reviewed toys and video games, but does that really count as gaming?
It depends on what kind of video games, right? Well, think about if you're playing games like Barbie's Horse Adventures, you're going to have more problems than someone who's sort of playing Halo. So just so you know, because I'm most interested in video game channels and also make those types of videos, am that type of channel, that's the bigger focus of what COPPA is all about. And kind of what I've seen, those are the creators that seem to be the most up in arms about what's going on. There's a chance that there's a bunch of gray areas out there in terms of different categories, but if you have questions about them, just leave them in the comments. Otherwise, I'd be talking about this forever.
EvanTube HD.
But,
I'm just checking.
and once again, I would say, I think it also makes a difference the fact that he is also a child. It is something that the FTC explicitly considers when it determines whether content is child-directed. If there are children in the video making the videos, sorry, they aren't making the videos. They have other people doing that part, I imagine. But that's what the FTC is looking at right now. So, for these really big creators, the main question here is, are you worried that you have somehow been targeting an audience under the age of 13 based on your conduct and based on your videos so far? I wonder about some of the big namers in terms of like their gaming channels. People like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. That's all I can think of.
Great, now there's the only time you'll hear me or someone associated to me say those in a video.
Because the way that they act and the way that they present the videos is not clearly, but implicitly designed to attract a younger audience. YouTube generally has been designed to attract a younger audience for quite a while, possibly since the beginning. It's an online video site. Children are really the ones that are most online. Children have the most time to watch YouTube and like absorb the YouTube format. That's a question. And of course,
I've really quickly found an example of at one of Evan Tube's gaming air quotes
Interesting.
videos.
but think of, like, you can see some of the language in the title. Father versus son,
Whoops, I hit it by accident. There we go.
family video game night. It's
Starlink Battle for Atlas.
I can probably guess the rating on the video game. Probably E10.
I will double check that. Just for the sake of being accurate.
But I mean, there are a lot of things that like big YouTubers are doing that don't seem to be particularly oriented to the kids. Swearing, playing mature video games, being Nazis.
Oh dear, yeah, let's not.
He is still one.
We know.
So at the end of the day, I think most people are probably complaining about the fact that, like, I don't freaking know what COPPA is. Am I going to get in trouble because I'm famous and I have kids watching my videos? No. You have to have videos that are directed towards children. And admittedly, the FTC hasn't given a lot of guidance yet on exactly what that is. But that's because the FTC is never going to give specific guidance on what that is, because that means that you can skirt the regulations. So just to clarify, do I think that there are really big YouTube channels out there that are obviously in trouble now outside of the realm of YouTube Kids? No, I really don't. But I think the reason I talk about this with a hint of suspicion is because I don't exactly know what kind of strategies big YouTubers use to attract their audience. Are they specifically targeting kids under the age of 13? If they are, that puts them right into the danger zone. It just does. But so the more obvious you are, the more problems you're going to have. At the end of the day, take out the parts of videos that could be conceived as being directed towards children.
And unfortunately, yeah, I actually do have an example of that, unfortunately for me, and I'm going to be working really hard to scrub that in the future.
But an argument could be made for the other side, in the sense that the words family friendly, while in some respects can denote directed towards children, especially when accompanied by the words for kids, which happens a lot, family friendly can also designate a more conservative viewer base that isn't into swearing, offensive jokes, and things of that nature.
Which actually, that one is that interpretation of it is where the kind of like the way I'm more focused towards.
Right.
But
because the family doesn't,
yeah, they don't want that. But the
I would recommend against that specific language for the reason that especially if the FTC has taken that too, and it looks like they do have found examples where that language has been directed towards kids as opposed to families generally, including like older adults, I wouldn't use it anymore.
Well, there, I wouldn't new banner.
I wouldn't mention the word kids in your YouTube videos. I wouldn't use kids in your YouTube videos. If you're talking about cartoons and whatnot, that's where some people still kind of it still gets iffier. Mm-hmm. What if someone is making cartoons on their YouTube channel?
And there are some like that.
That
in fact, yeah,
poses an issue. Just to make a quick note about cartoons, it does seem to be one of those gray areas. But again, it comes down to who is the targeted audience, because there are channels that are specifically like related to children's cartoons. They're going to have problems. But if you're making or talking about or dealing with like generic cartoons, adult cartoons, anything that's questionable, I mean, you shouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But direct advertising for the channel and just it's a matter of changing the types of people that you want to draw into the channel. And in fact, more mentions of the fact that, like, this channel is not directed at kids may help. I don't know if that's going to happen more, but I mean, that's what YouTube's been asking for.
It really has. There's not like an in-between ground, like where you could say, oh, I'm not really targeted towards kids, but a general audience could view this and be fine. It's either you're for kids or you're full-on for adults.
And the main reason is that what it looks like what happens on YouTube is that if it's for kids, then comments are gone, end screens are gone, any interactivity with the video disappears. Because, and obviously the main aspect is that personalized ads are disabled, which means revenue basically drops to zero. Personalized ads is where revenue comes from, and without those, you can't make a living off YouTube.
You can't.
But for those people that have made their lives and their careers based on videos for children, guess what? That's your problem for not following the law, basically. And admittedly, isn't it YouTube's fault? It is. But you use their platform. And at this point, everyone should know that YouTube sucks in terms of how they operate, how they treat their employees / independent contractors. Well, that's probably not the right way to call the creators, because that's a specific legal term. But, you know, it's the people that join the site, wanting to get coverage, wanting the attention, wanting the money. Guess what? You have to go through YouTube. And if YouTube's taking your personalized ads or making money off that kind of thing, you chose YouTube. You could have your own website that has strict COPPA compliance. Of course, it's going to be harder to make money, but also...
Ew, that's hard to read.
I know. You're not supposed to take... You can't use the personalized data of children. Children are stupid. They cannot consent. Someone is going to use that data against them for the rest of their lives. It's just not allowed. And the FTC is cracking down on that, finally, because I guess it got way too freaking obvious.
Apparently. Dang it, I cannot type today. There we go.
And?
Yeah, I went ahead and pulled the quote on what is going away on kids-related content from YouTube to share with the class. I
mean, I get the feeling that whatever YouTube has in place as YouTube Kids is dead. I'm not sure how it can sustain itself.
Why couldn't
YouTube might find a way.
Why couldn't they have found a way to just like have all kids go to YouTube Kids and like limit what actually pops up on there instead of just dragging the entire site down for this new
Well, that is why YouTube does not allow people under the age of 13 to make accounts. But they
they'll
can
find a way because they can lie.
And they do. And it's still the site's responsibility. And now it's the content creator's responsibility. And that's just the way it is. So, you know, like I said, is it likely that your channel is going to violate COPPA? No. But if you're a popular YouTuber that relies on children for you to make money... And just to clarify, there is a difference between having children just find your videos and specifically going after children, okay? But if you go after children and want them to watch your videos, well, you have to rethink what you are doing. That doesn't mean you have to redo everything that you're up to, but you need to think about tags, advertising, how you describe your videos, how you talk about your videos. How you talk about your videos to YouTube, I guess, if you're at that stage.
Some might be.
Some might be. But this isn't a need to panic. If anything, it's a reason to jump ship on YouTube and find someone that isn't punishing creators for the sites.
If you're watching this right now, you're here on the beloved site known as twitch.tv.
And if you're saying, well, there's really no good alternative to YouTube for what I'm doing, then you've chosen the wrong career path, buddy. YouTube should never have been a way for people to make money.
It really shouldn't.
It only is because advertisement revenue runs the internet market, and internet content that people watch and absorb advertisement is the future. It makes people miserable, whether they're successful or not. Although I think the less successful people are less miserable. I can attest to that.
Same.
I'm fine with YouTube. I'm fine with Twitch. I know they screw over people, but that's because they think that becoming like beholden to a giant tech company that has never cared about a human being in its life was a smart decision. It's not, by the way.
It's not.
Sure, you can make a lot of money off it. Sure, you can become famous. Sure, you're gonna get screwed by things like this because that's the life you've made. Just to clarify, is COPPA gonna be the thing that screws you? That's unlikely. It's a narrow category of people that are getting screwed by this. But is something else down the road going to screw you? I mean, watch your back if YouTube is your life and your livelihood.
Basically.
YouTube is still the bad guy.
It's always been the bad guy, let's be honest.
Right. But it's the kind of thing where it's like, just because I can't think of an organization. Give me like 10 seconds to think of an organization that doesn't sound like crap.
Alrighty, we'll turn up Vince Guaretti while you think. And once the song resumes, there we go.
Scientology is bad. L. Ron Hubbard is a bad person. And
whoa.
If you think, and that is all true, but if you give your life over to L. Ron Hubbard, especially knowing that he is bad, especially after finding out that he is bad, then you too have become part of the problem. That's how I'm going to put it.
That's a good way to put it.
YouTube is the bad guy. But if you've made your bed with YouTube, congratulations, I guess. This is your reward. Worrying about this, even if you don't have to.
Yeah, like, I don't have to. I was more confused than worried, honestly.
And because I guess confused people, especially the more popular ones, like to yell about it to get more ad revenue.
Or there's another way. I saw one that was like, to make it more, they didn't yell, but they talked really closely into the mic like this.
And you know who's attracted to that kind of stupid crap?
Kids.
Kids are. That's, again, it needs to be in the back of your mind. I don't think the FTC is gonna come knocking on your door because you act like a doofus on YouTube. But if it attracts kids, and you do it to attract kids, yeah, COPPA applies to you. Right now, it is a very, very narrow category of problem channels and problem behavior. people should probably change their behavior a little bit so that category does not become broad.
Ooh, it could become broad one day. Very broad.
And guess what? That part of it is not YouTube's fault.
No, it's the people's fault if that comes to that.
That's all I have to say. And I think a lot of that was kind of going over the same territory, so...
Well, it needs to be done in a way that's not, like, freaking the freak out, and it took us 35 minutes to do that, but it was 35 minutes of honest discussion as opposed to yelling and freaking out about this, which I think is better.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly find this... when I first saw what was going on, it seemed like, when YouTube asked the question, it seemed like an easy question, right?
Right.
Of course my videos aren't directed towards children. I hate children. I don't want them on my channel.
Do you actually hate children?
No, that was partially a joke.
Okay.
And just in case, like, you need more clarification, when I made the comment about children, I was talking about children who use YouTube, which is a different category than, like, all children, right? Children on YouTube happen to be the ones that I feel like have just made things that I enjoy harder to enjoy. So that's all it is. I'm bitter. But I do think that they're part of the bane of YouTube's existence and why YouTube is kind of a toxic place to be.
It's unfortunate, yeah.
But there is some nuance to what the FTC is looking at. But if you actually look into it, the FTC hasn't gone that far down the rabbit hole yet. This is a good time to reevaluate the site, why things are popular, who they're actually popular for, or who's watching the videos.
It's a good reminder to me that I don't want to spend my whole life just making YouTube stuff.
Exactly. I'm not saying that there are bad jobs or good jobs, but at the end of the day, working for a crappy organization based on your own greed, this is where you get. These are the roadblocks. You can keep doing it, but
yeah.
Ta-da! Sometimes the federal government doesn't like it.
Be that as it may, yeah. That's why I really see YouTube more as a hobby these days, because eventually I'm not gonna have time to maintain a channel. And so I don't wanna... I mean, I have a life outside of YouTube, and I live it to the fullest. In fact, I got a busy evening when I'm done streaming of living life to the fullest. And I'm just going to voice my opinion now to give you a break from the talking. I really think that YouTube is on the fast train to going, maybe not away forever, but in a direction to where I really won't want to use it anymore. I'm currently studying communications at college to go into to take the videos-ness that I've learned on YouTube and apply it to a more successful career outside of YouTube that doesn't rely on any of these like COPPA regulations or not. So basically have a little more freedom about the content I can make and produce and not have to worry about it getting slapped down by this and ruining my revenue, salary, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, that's that. I hope we cleared up a bit, though, for y'all, like, what this is about, and that there's problems, definitely, but unless you're, like, one of the big famous people, and if you're one of the big famous people, you wouldn't be watching this stream or video in the first place. You really don't have much to worry about.